Waterdeep is the kind of fantasy city that can sell you a room, a rumor, and a quest on the same block. If you have ever wanted a D&D city that feels busy, expensive, dangerous, and weirdly livable, this countdown is for you. I am ranking 10 concrete reasons Waterdeep beats the usual pretty skyline approach. By the end, you will know where to go for harbor arrivals, classic dungeon crawls, guild politics, hidden magic, and the one view that makes the whole city feel larger than the map. I saved the biggest reason for last. Because in Waterdeep, even the errands have side quests attached. Top 10 reasons to visit Waterdeep. At number 10, Waterdeep's harbor is the first reason the city feels real. You arrive past crowded masts, salt spray, and working docks, then climb towards Seaward where clean streets, carved facades, and expensive inns tell you the city is already sorting you by budget. It is a proper arrival experience, the port for motion, Seaward for breath, and the sense that you just stepped into a living trade hub, not a backdrop. Number 9 is the Yawning Portal, because every great fantasy city needs one absurdly iconic place where tourists, adventurers, and bad decisions all share a room. You go there for the huge well, the constant noise, and the fact that the entrance to Undermountain turns a tavern stop into a story. Waterdeep earns points because its famous landmark is not a statue. It is a dare. At number 8, Waterdeep's guilds make the city feel like civilization with paperwork and teeth. Bakers, shipwrights, fishmongers, masons, scribes, and artisans all have their own power centers, seals, and rules. That means every errand has politics under it. Visit for the guild halls, stay for the way even a simple delivery can turn into an alliance, a fee, or a favor you'll need later. Number 7 is the Noble Quarter, where the streets get wider, the gardens get quieter, and every villa looks like it was designed to hide a scandal. Waterdeep's high society gives you masked dinners, guarded carriages, and the kind of social tension that makes a tea invitation feel dangerous. If you like your sightseeing with blackmail, old money, and impeccable stonework, this is the stop. At number 6, Castle Ward is where the city shows off its civic muscle. The open squares, strong walls, major institutions, and famous public buildings make Waterdeep feel governed instead of just occupied. This is the part of town where you can walk from a gate to a plaza to a magistrate's hall and still feel like you're inside the same coherent city. It is orderly in the way only a rich fantasy metropolis can be. Number 5 is Blackstaff Tower, because Waterdeep's magic is not locked away in a wizard's basement. You see it in the skyline, in wards over the streets, in watchful towers, and in the sense that powerful spellcasters are part of the city's daily weather. That makes the city feel enchanted without becoming a theme park. The magic is visible, but it still belongs to someone, which is what makes it interesting. At number 4, Waterdeep's markets and taverns are the heartbeat of the city. You can spend a day moving from fish stalls and spice cellars to warm inns, loud tap rooms, and back alley food counters, and every district feels alive. This is where the city stops being famous and starts being edible, drinkable, and crowded in exactly the right way. If you want atmosphere, this is the easiest place to get lost on purpose. Number 3 is the layer underneath the layer. Waterdeep is built on buried halls, sealed doors, forgotten cellars, secret societies, and old money that never quite made it to daylight. Half the thrill is knowing that an ordinary building may hide a stair, a cache, or a room no guidebook mentions. In Waterdeep, history is not on a plaque. It is under your boots. But the view that explains the city is still ahead, and it says more about Waterdeep than any single landmark. At number 2, Mount Waterdeep gives you the single best sense of scale in the whole city. When you look back from the heights, you see harbor, wards, towers, walls, and districts spreading out like a living map. That is the payoff. Waterdeep is not impressive because one landmark dominates it. It is impressive because the whole thing works at once, from dock to peak. Waterdeep takes number 1 because it is the realm's city of possibility. You can arrive by sea, by road, by magic, or by accident, find work, trouble, allies, secrets, and a new life before sunset, and somehow still feel like you only scratched one district. It is the city where a nobody can become important, and where important people still need to answer to the street. That mix of scale, danger, and opportunity is why Waterdeep wins. That is the whole trick. Waterdeep is not just a place to visit. It is the kind of city that changes what kind of story you think you are in. So which Waterdeep stop would you visit first, the harbor, the Yawning Portal, or Blackstaff Tower? Put your pick in the comments, because I want to know where you would start your first day in the City of Splendors. If you want more fantasy city guides, stay with the Exo Guide. The next trip might go somewhere even stranger.